knocking sound can be heard coming from the closet. However, when he checks inside, nothing is in there. But then, moments later, loud banging can be heard from the other side of the room. Clearly, Jacob was spooked out of his mind. Yet something else happened that Jacob didn't realize until rewatching this video. At the start of the clip, the clown doll on top of the drawer can be seen staring at the bed, but then later, it is seen staring at the door. Ever since seeing this, Jacob has moved the doll downstairs to the living room. He states that it came alive that night and is glad that he caught evidence of it. Although pretty spooky, the video remains a mystery. But thanks to this incident, Jacob has made up his mind on whether or not he should keep the house. Overall though, what happened that night has left him beyond terrified. When it comes to videos on poltergeist activity, it seems that the most believable ones are those in which the video was initially recorded for a different reason. In this case, YouTuber Mowgli85 was recording the trailer for the Simpsons movie from the film's official website for the sole purpose of uploading the trailer to his channel. However, while videotaping the trailer, something pretty creepy happens. Out of nowhere, things begin to move on their own. Now, after rewatching the video, viewers had pointed out that the Ouija board in the corner of the room might be the reason as to why all this is happening. According to Mowgli, he'd been playing with it prior to this incident. So, according to viewers, it makes sense that something like this would occur. But what do you think? Is this actual footage of something paranormal? Or is it simply a video that's been staged? There has yet to be a definitive answer to this question. The following video comes from James Fodder, who recently bought a doll from a secondhand store. Apparently, the doll is worth a lot more than what the store was selling it for. For this reason, James had bought the doll. However, ever since bringing it home, strange things have been happening. From hearing strange noises at night to seeing doors open and close on their own, James suspects that the doll might be responsible for the unusual activity. And so, he decides to record the doll in front of a camera inside an empty room. He hopes to capture footage of something that would prove it's haunted. Initially, nothing odd is captured in the first few days of recording, but then, one night, something very strange happens. Now, the camera that he uses is programmed to move wherever it picks up movement, so if something moves, it will point to that object. We can see it doing that in this footage, but strangely, the camera pans around the room as though it's picking up movement from somewhere. This is what was captured. Could it be that the camera is detecting an unseen presence? Or is it just not functioning properly? Although it's likely that there's a problem with the camera, Something really creepy happens 2 nights later inside the room, which has made him think that the camera was actually picking up something. James is away from home when the following happens. He writes, "Just wow, I've been leaving the closets open in case anyone thinks I'm hiding inside. I don't even know what to say." This is what was captured. Out of James's bathroom comes out what appears to be a dark, shapeless figure. It seems to dart across the floor before disappearing from sight. James believes that this may have been the apparition that was being picked up earlier by the camera. He also thinks that this mysterious figure might be attached to the doll. Ever since then, he's been filming more at night. Little does he know that he'd be capturing something way more terrifying than this. James is sleeping in his room upstairs when the following happens. On camera, the doll moves on its own. It appears to move for just a few seconds before abruptly stopping. Feeling very unsettled, James posts the footage online to see if anyone could explain this video. It's not sure if he'll continue to hold on to this doll based on what occurred, but it might be best if he keeps it locked up inside this room, as an occurrence like this definitely warrants it. This next video was submitted by Aaron Tipsy, who states that a friend of his had sent him a creepy video. In it, Aaron's friend can be seen sleeping inside their bedroom when something downright terrifying is captured. It's around midnight when this is filmed. What better way to induce insomnia than by watching a video like this? Now, it's worth mentioning that the same video can be found on TikTok. However, the context given for that video is different from the one that was submitted to me. Aaron states that his friend has no recollection of ever doing this in their sleep, whereas the one on TikTok states that they were fully conscious when they did this. Whether conscious or not, the imagery of this video is still nonetheless pretty disturbing. All in all, this video is a great source of nightmare fuel. A salesman stays at a hotel and captures footage of something pretty disturbing. The following video comes from a salesman who was traveling overseas for a business trip. Due to travel restrictions affected by COVID, the salesman had self-quarantine for a total of 7 days. His self-quarantine took place at a hotel where he booked a room all for himself. But during the 7 days that he's there, something really creepy happens. On the second night of his quarantine, the salesman is talking to a friend via webcam when all of a sudden, this happens.
屋間違えたんじゃない？
まあ、飯の時はノックされるんやけど、
隔離はいつまで？
まあいつか。
After checking to see who was knocking at his door, the salesman returns to his seat, seeming unfazed by the mysterious knocks. He chalks it up to a hotel employee who might have accidentally knocked on the wrong door. A few minutes pass, and the conversation between the two then segues to the topic of food served at the hotel. But as they continue to talk, something shakes up the salesman.
おー。アジア料理が多いな、やっぱ。
また聞こえたな。
また？
今録画してるまだ。
してる。
あ、ちょっと待って。
何してんの？その強盗とかだったらやばいんじゃない？
まあ、証拠取る。
証拠？ちょっとフリーズしてるけど、証拠取れなくない？あ、大丈夫。いないじゃん。誰もいない。
誰もいないし。
ここ。前の部屋のやつがなんかいたずらでやってんじゃない？
It is at this moment when his friend thinks that a next door neighbor is playing tricks on him. Yet the salesman isn't sure if anyone is occupying the rooms near him. His friend then jokes that the room he is in might be haunted. The salesman doesn't think much of this and decides to go to bed,